Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're diving into DIY solar today.
Oh, yeah.
We found this YouTube video. It's
Yeah.
called Extreme Budget DIY Portable Solar Power Station with 5,000 joules of solar input. 5,000 watts.
Wow.
That's enough to run like
Yeah, a bunch of stuff.
a whole house.
Yeah, you can run a lot off of that.
So let's break this down, how this works, and maybe inspire some of you all to
To build one, yeah.
build one, yeah. So they highlight this EG4 3000 EHV inverter.
Okay.
$674 for this inverter.
That's pretty incredible when you think about like a pre-built unit.
Right.
Like EcoFlow Delta.
EcoFlow.
Yeah, you're going to pay way more than that.
Way more.
You get less power.
And this one handles 5,000 watts.
5,000 watts of solar input.
What does that even mean, 5,000? What can I run off of that?
You could run a fridge. You could run a bunch of lights.
Oh, wow.
Charge your devices. Maybe even run a small power tool.
No kidding.
Like all at the same time.
That's a portable power station.
That's pretty much a mini power grid.
Okay, so this inverter takes the DC power
Right.
from the solar panels, converts it to AC
Yeah, exactly.
for our house.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they're recommending this EG4 Life Power 4 battery.
Okay.
$1,200 for this battery.
Right.
What makes this type of battery good for solar?
Well, lithium batteries in general are really the go-to for solar.
Okay.
They're efficient, they have a long lifespan, and they can handle being deeply discharged, which is great for solar applications. You're not really going to hurt the battery too much
Okay.
if you use a lot of it.
They make this a portable system.
Oh, yeah, they use a hand truck.
I love that.
Yeah.
Super easy, super cheap.
Uh-huh.
And then they just ratchet strap it on.
Just strap everything down.
Yeah,
Yep.
awesome.
And then you can expand from there, too.
Really?
Yeah, you can start small, and then as your needs grow, add more batteries, maybe connect multiple inverters together.
Well, wait a minute. Multiple inverters.
Yeah, so you can actually parallel up to 12 of these inverters,
Right.
making a 36 kilowatt system.
It's like a house.
Yeah,
That-
it's pretty impressive for a system that starts so small.
All right. I'm ready to get my hands dirty. Let's talk about the wiring.
Okay.
I'm always a little afraid of wiring, but they said this whole thing you can put together in 25 to 30 minutes.
It can be that straightforward.
Really?
The video does a pretty good job of simplifying it.
Okay.
So you'll need a heavy-duty extension cord for AC input.
Okay, so you can plug it into the wall to charge it up.
Exactly. You can charge it from the wall if you need to.
Gotcha.
And then you have a couple choices for the AC output.
Okay.
You can do a simple power strip,
Okay.
which is nice and easy.
Yeah, just plug stuff in.
Plug and play, yeah. Or you could go with a small load center,
Okay.
which gives you a little more flexibility.
So like if you need to plug in more stuff?
Exactly.
Okay.
And then don't forget the PV disconnect switch.
Oh yeah, that's safety.
Yeah, it's a safety feature.
Yeah.
That's often overlooked, but it's really important,
For sure.
especially when you're working with solar.
Okay.
And then to connect the panels themselves, you'll need solar PV wire
Okay.
and pre-made pigtails with MC4 connectors.
So it's really just plug and play for solar.
Pretty much, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have some practical tips.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you find was helpful?
Well, they recommend using ferrules on the ends of the wires,
Okay.
especially if you're using stranded wire.
So it doesn't fray.
Exactly.
So.
And then another thing is to carefully plan out where you're going to put everything.
Yeah.
On the hand truck.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you have enough space.
So it's like all cramped.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And then don't forget to have a variety of screwdrivers handy.
Yeah.
You'll need different sizes to match the different terminal sizes.
Of course. Yeah, good point. Good point.
Okay, so now we've got everything wired up.
All right, let's test this thing out.
All right. They actually test it with a 1,200-watt heat gun.
Wow, and it runs it.
It runs it. Yeah.
That's awesome. So the power that I actually get is really dependent on what I'm going to use.
Yeah, you got to think about your specific needs.
Right. Oh, yeah.
What are you actually going to be powering with this?
Okay, so they talk about the inverter settings a little bit.
Yeah.
I really like that you can set it to prioritize solar power
Oh, yeah. That's a great feature.
over the battery and over the grid.
So you're using free energy as much as possible.
That's the goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what other settings do I need to make sure that I set up right?
Well, you need to make sure you select the correct battery type
Okay.
and set the correct output voltage and frequency.
Okay.
And then another important safety setting is to adjust the maximum charging current
Okay.
based on the AC circuit that you're using.
So I don't blow a fuse or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Safety first.
This is so cool. I'm already thinking about all the things that I could power with this setup. Yeah, and the video creator actually encourages you to check out their other videos about building even larger systems.
All right, so this is just the beginning of this deep dive.
Yeah, we're just getting started.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
To explore even more.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back, everybody. We are ready to continue exploring DIY solar power.
Oh, yeah.
We've covered the components, the wiring, and even some essential settings.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we use this thing?
Well, that's where the fun begins, right?
Yeah.
Thinking about all the practical applications.
Yeah.
You're going camping, you're off the grid.
Mm-hmm.
This thing could be a lifesaver.
Right.
Keep all your devices charged, running lights in your tent.
Yeah.
You can even run a small fridge.
No more warm drinks.
Exactly.
I love it.
And of course, emergency preparedness.
Oh, yeah.
Power outages are becoming more and more common these days.
Mm-hmm.
Having a reliable backup power source is essential.
It's peace of mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So we can power essential appliances.
Refrigerator lights, medical equipment, whatever you need.
This really aligns with like the off-grid living movement.
Absolutely.
People are wanting to be more self-sufficient.
Yeah, it's a growing trend.
Mm-hmm.
And this DIY solar power station fits right into that.
And you can save money on your electric bill too, right?
Yeah, definitely.
If you're relying more on solar power.
Reduce your dependence on the grid, lower those monthly bills.
It's a win-win.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's a smart investment. That pays off over time.
And it's cheaper than buying a pre-built unit.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so the video talks about using eco-worthy panels, 200-watt panels.
Right.
Can I use any type of panel with this system?
You can use other types of panels,
Okay.
but it's important to make sure that their voltage and current output are compatible with the inverter's specifications.
So do your research.
Yeah, do a little homework.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure everything's going to play nice together.
And the number of panels depends on the inverter's maximum input voltage.
That's right.
Okay.
You don't want to overload it.
So you could damage it.
Yeah, potentially.
Okay. You mentioned connecting multiple inverters in parallel.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I want to do that?
Well, paralleling inverters allows you to increase the system's overall power output.
Okay.
So if you need more than 3,000 watts of continuous power, you could connect 2 of these EG4 inverters together.
Gotcha.
Get 6,000 watts.
So it's like a modular system that I can scale up.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. Okay, what kind of maintenance is required for this?
Well, like any electrical system, regular maintenance is key.
Okay, so what do we need to do?
First off, keeping the battery terminals clean and free of corrosion.
Okay.
That's important for ensuring good electrical contact and preventing voltage drops.
Okay, I can do that. What?
You'll also want to inspect the wiring connections periodically
to
make sure there's no looseness or signs of damage.
All right, and then keeping the solar panels clean is crucial.
Oh, of course.
Even a thin layer of dirt or shade can significantly reduce their output.
Got to keep them clean.
Yeah, absolutely. And as always, it's a good idea to consult the inverter's manual.
Of course.
For any specific maintenance recommendations.
Okay.
They might have some guidelines in there about firmware updates.
Right.
Or maybe even periodic inspections by a qualified technician.
I'm feeling pretty confident I could build this.
That's great.
And maintain it myself.
Yeah, that's the goal.
It's amazing how accessible DIY solar is becoming.
It really is. It's an exciting time to be getting into solar.
There's so much more to learn about this system and all of its features.
Oh, yeah. We've only just scratched the surface.
Okay.
There's a lot more to dive into.
So let's take a quick break.
All right. Sounds good.
Recharge our batteries.
Let's do it.
And we'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Okay, so we've built this awesome portable power station.
We've wired it up.
Yep.
We've learned how to maintain it.
We've done it all.
But now I want to get the most out of it.
Right.
What are some things that we can do to really take this thing to the next level?
Well, that's where monitoring and customization come in.
Okay.
This EG4 3000 EHV inverter has some really cool features that give you a lot of control.
Okay, like what?
So for instance, a lot of these inverters have built-in displays that show you real-time information about how your system's performing.
So I could see like how much power it's generating.
Exactly.
Oh.
You can see how much power your solar panels are generating, how much energy you're pulling from the battery.
Wow.
Even the current state of charge.
So I can see how much free energy I'm actually getting.
Yeah, it's like having a little dashboard for your solar power station.
That's really cool. Now, is there a way to track this information like remotely?
Yeah, so some inverters actually offer remote monitoring capabilities
Get out of here.
where you can connect it to your Wi-Fi network. Wow. And access all that data on your computer or your smartphone.
That is so cool.
Yeah, so you can be out and about and still keep an eye on your system.
Okay, this thing seems great for off-grid, but let's face it, sometimes things go wrong.
Right.
How do we troubleshoot this thing?
Troubleshooting is definitely an important part of DIY,
Yeah.
especially when you're dealing with electrical systems.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of common issues with these solar power stations are actually pretty easy to fix.
Okay.
Like, let's say your solar panels aren't producing any power.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
Yeah, first thing you want to check is make sure they're clean and free of any shade.
Okay.
Even a little bit of dirt can really reduce their output.
Makes sense, yeah.
And then check the connections
Mhm.
between the panels and the inverter.
Okay,
Make sure all the cables are securely connected.
gotcha.
No corrosion or damage.
And if I'm comfortable, I could use like a multimeter.
Yeah, if you have a multimeter, you can actually test the voltage output of the panels to make sure they're working properly.
Okay, so what if I'm hearing my inverter beeping constantly?
Okay, yeah. If your inverter's beeping even after you've tried silencing it,
Right.
check the display for any error codes.
Okay,
It's trying to tell you something.
okay. And then I can look that up.
Yeah, usually the inverter manual will have a section that explains what those codes mean.
Got it. So you can always RTFM.
Always RTFM.
Okay, so let's say I want to expand the capabilities of this system. What can I do?
All right, so we talked about paralleling inverters for more power,
Right.
but there's other cool modifications you can make too.
Like what?
So one popular upgrade is adding a charge controller with MPPT technology,
Oh, yeah?
which stands for Maximum Power Point Tracking.
What does that do?
That helps you squeeze every last drop of energy out of your solar panels,
Cool.
especially when sunlight conditions aren't ideal.
Okay, what else?
A battery monitor is another good addition
Okay.
that gives you a more precise reading of your battery's state of charge and helps you maximize its lifespan.
Now, what if I want to go completely off-grid?
All right. Well, if you're going for full energy independence,
Yeah.
you could integrate a generator into the system
Okay.
as a backup power source.
So you always have power.
Exactly, no matter what.
That's awesome.
You could detach the solar panels and use them for remote charging.
Oh, wow.
Or you could even use the power station to run tools on a job site.
Right. That's really versatile.
It is. The possibilities are kind of endless.
It's more than a power station. It's a whole new way of life.
It really is. It's a step towards a more sustainable and self-reliant way of living.
I'm feeling so inspired. I want to get started now.
I know, me too.
I'm grabbing my tools, ordering some parts, ready to go.
That's awesome. And, even if building a whole system seems overwhelming, you can still start small.
Right.
Like using portable solar panels to charge your devices
Yeah.
or adding a solar-powered light to your garden.
That's a great point. Every little bit helps.
It all adds up.
So what will you power with solar?
We want to see your creativity shine.
Share your DIY solar projects on social media.
Use the hashtag #DeepDiveSolar.
We're all in this together, folks.
We are
Learning, creating, and building a brighter future.
powered by the sun.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive
Thanks, everyone.
into the world of DIY solar power.
See you next time.
Until next time, stay curious, stay empowered, and keep shining bright.